Hey curl friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd have a little curl chit chat and talk about, just some of the frequently asked questions that I get about my curls and my hair on Instagram and YouTube. The first question is, what kind of haircut do you have? And this is a very frequent question. I get it all the time on Instagram and on YouTube. And my haircut is, according to Shai, my hairstylist, let me look it up. He said it is a custom dry curl by curl cut. I guess you could also call it a shaggy bob. It's got shorter layers up here. I have bangs, which makes it full in the front as well. They're kind of strategically placed, but it's a little bit on the rounded side. This is actually grown out. I haven't had a haircut in 6 months, which reminds me I need to make an appointment. But I really like the way it looks right now, and I'm going to continue growing it out. I'll actually post a photo of how it did look and show you the length that it's grown to at this point. So I'm hoping to get more volume and more length, and hopefully you'll see that soon. I personally think this is the perfect haircut for fine curly girls because we struggle with the volume, right? So growing it long and all one length is just not, it doesn't work for us. We need layers, we need fullness up top just to give the appearance of fuller hair. The second question I've been getting is your hair getting thicker? And you know what? I don't think it's necessarily getting thicker, but it's getting healthier, and it's definitely grown and it's getting longer. So maybe it looks like it's thicker, but I don't think it's necessarily thicker. When I first started doing these videos, I was under a lot of stress. And I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I've had traction alopecia. The edges were really, they were just virtually gone. They are really, actually, this one's a little bit worse, but they're filled in quite a bit compared to what they used to look like. And I've stopped using the ORS fertilizing serum, which is what I was using for about 3 or 4 months to help them grow back. But I have been doing other things to make them continue to stay full, and I think I want to share that with you right now. I'd say the 2 major changes in my hair routine include not using the satin bonnet anymore and sleeping on a satin pillowcase because they were just, my scalp wasn't getting any air, and I would wear the thing all day long. I just did a video on this, so I'll link it down below in the description box so you can get the full reason why. But not wearing the satin bonnet anymore and sleeping on a satin pillowcase, and also including scalp massages in my daily routine. I really didn't understand how important the scalp massages were, but I am seeing the results, and I'm so happy I started doing that because I honestly think that is probably the #1 reason why my hair looks thicker. A couple months ago, I reached out to a, really beautiful curly hair crush. Her name is Brittany. She goes by BWATUWANT. I'll link all of her information down below, but I'll also post a photo if she'll let me right here. Anyway, she's everybody's hair crush, right? And I asked her, I said, what's your hair type? She said it was fine. I said, what are you using to get the length? And because I didn't believe that her hair was fine. It looks so full, like a lion. It's amazing. And she told me she's using Shea Moisture Jamaican, can't even say my own nationality, Jamaican black castor oil, strengthen, grow, and restore hair serum. And I asked her if it was greasy because, I'm not about those oils. I like very lightweight serums in my hair. And she said it's not greasy at all. Okay, so I bought it. And what I did was I would cut off the tip and just the tiniest little hole because I tend to overdo it with the oils when I do use them. And I was kind of just adding drops throughout my scalp, massaging it in. But you know what? It was still too greasy for me. It was still weighing down my curls, and I was, I was like, okay, well, that one didn't work. It's definitely more lightweight than, some of the other oils I've tried, and this does have castor seed oil, which is usually really too heavy for me, but it's not the first one. It's like the second. So I stopped using it for a while. But then, all of a sudden, a couple months later, I came up with the brilliant idea to maybe just take this and put like 10 drops in my hand, massage it through my hands like this, and then just use my fingertips. And I don't know why I didn't do that before, but it wasn't greasy that way. And so I started doing the scalp massages at night before bed, and I would spend like 2 or 3 minutes, and I would watch my Netflix, and I would just get in there and rub it up. And then I watched Sunkissed Alba's video, and she talks about putting essential oils in your shampoos, your conditioners, and your leave-ins, whatever. So I've been including peppermint, tea tree, and rosemary into my shampoos and my conditioners, and also my leave-in conditioner. I put like 10 drops each in each of them and shake it up really well. And I've been massaging my scalp in the shower, and also after my wash days when I include the leave-in conditioner, it has the essential oils in it. And it creates that tingling feeling on your scalp, so I know it's working. And then I was like, oh, okay, let me add those to the serum. Even though it has peppermint oil, I added more. I added 10 drops here, and I added 10 drops of the rosemary, and I've been massaging it like this with my fingertips, and you know what? It has totally changed my hair. So bravo, Brittany, and bravo to you, Sunkissed Alba. I believe in Alba's videos, actually, she mentioned horsetail and saw palmetto, and I haven't used those yet. I just bought these, so I'm going to try those out, and I'll let you guys know how it works out in a couple months. So some of the other things I'm doing to maintain healthy hair include, just meditating, because my stress levels, I told you last year, were very high. I was under a lot of stress, and I guess the meditation has really helped with that. Stress, it's a big factor in hair loss. So if you can calm yourself down, woosah, honey. I use a lot of meditation apps. I do it before I go to bed because it really does help, calm down my busy mind. I'm constantly thinking of things. I make lists in my sleep. I overthink everything. So, that's helped me. And if I just feel like I'm a little stressed out that day, I try to take 5 minutes if I can and just sit in silence or use one of these apps with guided, meditation to really help me calm down. I've also been really consistent with my vitamin and water intake. I think I go through like 3 5-gallon, like the big jugs, 3 5-gallon jugs of water between my husband and I within 2 weeks. So I don't really know how much of it he's drinking compared to me, but I'm drinking a lot more because I'm at home a lot more. So I drink a lot of water, and I'm consistently taking my vitamins. And one way I help myself to take my vitamins so I don't forget is use one of these, vitamin holders. And I have everything, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just put in what I need. My prenatals right now, and I'm using Mega Food Baby and Meat Herb Free. And I'm using biotin. This is 5,000 micrograms. And in my other video, I mentioned that I had a vitamin D deficiency. So I've been taking 5,000, is it micrograms? Oh, I don't know. 5,000 IU vitamin D3. So I take those 3. I was taking MSM, and I stopped using those. I had heard, I don't know if it's true, but I just try to play it safe. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that taking MSM for a really long time isn't really good for you, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, I'm just playing it safe, but I don't take that anymore. Not for now anyway. But I do take those 3 vitamins, and I've also done a video on the vitamins I'm taking. So I'll include that down below. One other thing I find important is also having a clean scalp. So with all those scalp massages with the oil, you got to keep the scalp clean. Okay. So, doing some sort of clarifying wash once a month. Dr. Bronner's, sometimes I mix that in with my shampoo to just really get all the buildup. And then weekly, just using a cleansing conditioner is fine with me, or a sulfate-free shampoo. Lastly, I think it's important to include lightweight products if you have fine curly hair. It will help your hair look thicker. And I also use Toppik. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Toppik is my go-to, especially if I'm going to be outside and the wind is blowing. I want to make sure that I get these little areas, and they're not as bad as they used to be, but I get those little areas with the Toppik, and yes, that helps it look like it's fuller even though it's not. You can also use like a brow powder in like a dark color, and I've done a video on this as well, but you can use brow powder and like a really dense brush and just pack it in there, and that'll help it look thick. If you can't afford Toppik, or it's just not in your budget right now, like if you have eyeshadow at home, you can make it work. The last question I'm going to answer is, what is your curl type? And I know I did a get to know me video a while back and I had mentioned that, I don't know, it's fine and curly, but I went ahead and went on naturallycurly.com because I know a lot of you use that as a resource to figure out your hair type, or if you haven't, you should, because they actually have it all listed: density, curl type, you know, all that. So just look into that if you want more answers on it. But my hair type, according to naturallycurly.com, is 3C, okay? I used to think it was low density. I don't know if it's necessarily low density. It was like in between low and medium about a year or two ago when it was just really, you know, not in good shape. And I do think it's about medium density. I think that's pretty accurate because according to their website, medium density, you can see your scalp at times, you know, I guess if you flip your hair back and forth. It's not completely filled up, but I can see my scalp at times, so I think that is considered medium density. And my hair is fine. My curls themselves individually are very fine, but they're packed on there pretty well. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. I just wanna thank you all for watching. I hope you found this information valuable. If you're not already one of my subscribers, I would love to have you subscribe so that you don't miss any more videos. And of course, don't forget to rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.